All right, well, I just want you to know I'm giving you 110% today because, and that's about all the math I'm going to do because you probably got mathed out with Glenn's talk there. He gave a lot of numbers, and I'm not going to give very many numbers. You just have to be able to count to 11. So when Joel and I talked, I decided, as I'm trying to unwind myself and wind down a little bit, that I could talk about things that I consistently see as I travel to the various farms. Not all farms hit all of these 11, and it'd be really easy for me. I mean, I could be done with this talk in 5 minutes if I said, keep disease down and keep costs down. That would be the best way to be highly productive. But that's really easy to say and really hard to do. So I'm just going to get into some specifics of some things that you can take home today and think about. You know, are these things in line in my production system? So introducing our team, this is our swine health management team, Dr. Megan Potter, Dr. Trevor Martin, and myself, and we work out of private practice in Abilene, Kansas. And so we're going to get interactive. I mean, everyone, when you go to conferences, they say, oh, okay, shut off your phones, get engaged, and I want to be interactive, so I'm going to ask you to take your phone out. So if you have a smartphone, if you're still one of those flip phone guys, sorry, you might just have to vote with your hand today. So we're going to get interactive. What I want you to do is take out your phone, turn it to the camera function if you know how to use a QR code. If you don't, this is something you're going to learn today. So if you point your phone at that QR code, we're going to start really easy. What are you hoping gets served at lunch today? And you scan that, and it should bring up this question, and you can start voting. So there we go. People are, nobody picking chicken yet, so I'll give you just a few seconds to figure it out if you haven't quite figured it out yet, but looks like we're wanting pulled pork, which I think you're in luck because I actually think that is what we're having today, so yay. Yay, a little bit, a few ham lovers. We know it's not Glenn because he said his family likes bacon, and I didn't put bacon on there because I thought, well, bacon's not really a meal, it's more of a condiment. Oh, somebody did. Somebody voted for chicken just to prove me wrong. So, okay, so keep your phone readily available. That was just the warm-up so that I know that you know how to use the Slido function. So, why am I here? Well, it was 1990. I graduated from University of Minnesota, and I know what you're thinking. Wow, Lisa, you haven't changed at all, but Mike has that Justin Bieber hair going on. Yes, I married a 12-year-old. I wanted to practice swine medicine in a mixed animal practice somewhere in the Midwest, and Mike was determined he wanted to go back to K-State, where he'd gotten his master's degree. He was finishing his PhD at University of Minnesota. Swine production in the US, those were the top 10 states. We didn't really want to move to North Carolina, so that just put us somewhere here in the Midwest, and Kansas fit the bill. Then I met this guy. Those of you that don't know Steve's here today. Dr. Steve Henry was probably the greatest mentor a newly minted swine veterinarian could have asked for. And I luckily landed at the Abilene Animal Hospital and had Steve for not only a mentor but a business partner for many, many years. He taught me probably everything I know and probably a fraction of what he knows. So, swine production in Kansas in 1990. Sow farms varied from 1 sow to 500 sows. 500 sows was big back then. A lot of farrow to finish operations, mostly continuous flow, lots of selling and buying of feeder pigs, lots of outdoor production, especially for those feeder pigs. 10 pigs weaned per litter and 25 pigs per sow per year was exceptional performance in 1990. So keep that in mind. Production has changed, so have we. Many things have changed on swine farms in 35 years of veterinary practice. Can you believe it's been that long, Steve? But some things I do consistently see at highly successful farms, and we're going to talk about those things. I just couldn't get it down to 10. I had to do 11. So, take out your phone. What do you think is the most important habit of successful pork producers? Just going to see, put it in just a few words. I don't need a whole paragraph. And we'll see what people come up with. We got the breeding crew here because consistency. Those must be people that are in the breeding herd side. So. All right, look at that, all over the board. We got lots of things, but adaptability, consistency, biosecurity, health, but lots of other ideas, so that's awesome. Okay. These are the things, again, I'm taking it simple. I'm giving you things that you should be thinking about and that you can take home today and do every day. Number 11, rodent, bird, and pests are under control. Why am I starting with this? Well, first of all, I'm going backwards, 11 to 1. And secondly, I'm starting with the low-hanging fruit. I mean, this is very low-hanging fruit. What good does it do to spend a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort on a biosecurity plan if you don't have rodents, birds, and pests under control? If you have mice and birds and cockroaches running all over the place, your biosecurity plan is not working. So the best farms are free of these problems. Doesn't mean I never see a mouse there, but it does mean that they're tending the bait stations, their bird screens are intact, and there's no cockroaches when I turn the light on in the shower. So who cares? I mean, who cares about that? Mice, birds, cockroaches, oh my. Well, they have destructive behavior. They ruin your facilities. They contaminate feed, and they spread disease, and they're gross. But control takes consistency. It takes just constant attention. Bait, bait, bait. This time of year, how many times do I kick a bait station and it's completely empty? We need to fix the bird screen on a regular basis. We don't just build a barn and put up bird screen and then leave it for 20 years. Things happen and somebody hits it with an auger and bird screen breaks down. A sow or a pig tries to jump through. So, get a professional involved if it's out of control. If you have rodents and you say, oh, we just keep putting bait out, but they're just, we just can't get it under control, then get a professional involved. They will help you get back to square one. Number 10, the showers are clean and there is availability of appropriate clothing. Farm managers always ask me when I complain about that, who cares? Clean showers do not make the pigs grow better. Well, I assure you it matters. If you are requiring people to shower in to get to work, make sure they have comfortable, well-fitting clothes to wear all day. You're asking them to put in how many hours they need to be comfortable. Make sure they start and end their hardworking day with a quality shower, a clean bathroom, a decent washer and dryer, and preferably nice towels. And here's my pro tip of the day. Women need hair conditioner and sports bras, okay? You sing it, girls. The workers need to have quality boots. You can't be on your feet all those hours in the day. They need warm coats in the winter. They need hats. They need gloves. Most importantly to me as the veterinarian, this is a sure sign that the farm takes their biosecurity seriously. Same as going back to the rodents. I mean, if you have this big, long biosecurity plan, but people are just going in and out of the showers and there's mice all over the place, I know you don't take your biosecurity plan seriously. And obviously that is key to keeping up herd health. Just as an example, here's showering in at Zoltinko Farms. They have this lovely chart, and I don't have any pictures. Why not? Because I can't shower my phone in because of biosecurity. But I know when I go to Zoltinko's, get the gray shirt and the sage green pants. So I'm always wearing green pants and a gray long sleeve, hopefully this time of year, shirt. So when I get into the showers, everything's sorted by size. Kudos for having it bilingual. Good job, Lannon. So it's easy, and it saves a ton of time. I can probably shower in and out of Zoltinko's faster than any other farm because I don't have to search for anything. I do have to ask Santa for sports bras every once in a while for Christmas, right, Landon? Number 9, the best farms have zero tolerance for these things. Racism, sexism, sexual orientation issues, pornography, stealing, graffiti, things we don't like to talk about, but things that matter. Sadly, I still run into racism on occasion, but at least it's less often than it was before. And fortunately, most of you, I think especially in the pork industry, are very open-minded. You're willing to learn new things. I have learned so much from the many people that I have met in the swine industry from all over the world. We don't have time for racism. We are all on the same team. So I encourage you, embrace the diversity. Some of my Hispanic counterparts in some of the farms know the good way to my heart is to have some homemade tamales because I absolutely love pork tamales made by my Hispanic friends. And I just pulled some things off of social media that we have done here. We are doing some PQA trilingual this day. We had English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So that was an adventure. And here's another one that I posted way back in 2017. We did bilingual PQA. I teach them about the pigs and they correct my Spanish, which, my Spanish takes a lot of patience. We don't want any issues with sexism or sexual orientation. My very first beef extension meeting, I'd only been on the job for maybe a month in Dickinson County, and the beef extension specialist asked me to stand up and introduced me and says, well, that's great that Abilene has such a pretty little thing. And I was like, seriously, seriously. Good farm set good examples. And by the way, then his first slide was a joke about a woman with big boobs, so awesome. Fortunately, I think we've progressed in 35 years to get beyond that, but you do need to be careful. Don't assign jobs based on gender. I know some women that are fantastic at electrical and plumbing. I know lots of guys that are great at day one pig care. I know women that drive a skid steer. Okay, so we don't want to assume just because of people's gender that there are things they can and cannot do. When it comes to sexual orientation, I don't care. That's your business. I just want to know if you can learn and if you're good with pigs. That's all I want to know. Again, we don't have time for this. We are too busy feeding the world. This seems like a no-brainer, but I'm always surprised. I mean, we just need to have a zero tolerance for pornography. I've run into a few where there's been some racy posters in the locker rooms. People have pornography on the computers, or even worse yet, cameras in the showers. So, That's a no-brainer. We don't want to have any tolerance for that, and if it's happening, the retribution needs to be swift. You want to make sure stealing is not part of the culture. I've had my gas tank siphoned while it's in the parking lot at the farm. You know, we don't want to tolerate that. People have gotten tools stolen, money in your pocket when your clothes are hanging in the locker room. Even toilet paper and underwear disappear. So you just want to have a zero tolerance for that kind of culture. Same with graffiti. Some people aren't bothered by graffiti. It drives me crazy. I just think that does not show respect for the property. I don't want to see spray markers on the walls. I don't want to see drawings with Sharpie markers, and I don't want to see swear words or penis drawings on the walls. Number 8, fair pay and fair scheduling for the team. We all know that the pigs don't take weekends and holidays off, so we have to deal with full-time care every day. You know, it's kind of like us and the hospital. I mean, we have to do that. Schools and a lot of the other businesses have times off. We don't. But successful farms seem to find a way to share the burden of the coverage, okay? So just not the new person, the low man gets all the bad shifts, has to work Christmas, you know, all that kind of stuff. We find a way to make it fair to the whole team. The good farms also know what the range of pay is for the area. So they can pay accordingly, and then they can attract better people, and they can have better retention rates. Because, you know, you go back and you talk about we want to have good biosecurity. Well, what's a frequent breaker of biosecurity? High turnover, because we're constantly training new people and they make mistakes because they don't understand. So you don't want to be the bottom of the barrel in terms of hiring. You want to develop a reputation of being a great place to work. You can use community involvement, social media, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But you want to have a good reputation. All right, so take out your phone again, and let's see what you think about, besides money, what do you think most employees say is the most important thing that they want in their job? Awesome. Lots of good ideas. Right now we're getting the most for flexibility, and especially if you combine that with balance. And I think that's something that's really coming on with this generation. If we want to work with new generation of employees, we need to recognize that. Okay, I appreciate your input. Thank you. We could go on forever on that one. So when I kind of looked at that, tried to research that a little bit, besides money, what do employees want? Well, they want work-life balance, especially like I said, today's generation of workers, they really want that. They don't want that 80-hour-a-week job with no time for family or fun. They want opportunities to climb the ladder. They want, one thing I didn't see on the survey thing, a lot of them, they want good health insurance, positive work culture, recognition and appreciation for their hard work, and of course, job security. So, my number 7 is that good farms have mentoring and training programs in place. I mean, we're all familiar with pork quality assurance and hopefully transport quality assurance, or some people call it trucker quality assurance. You know, that's become part of our culture. If you want to sell pigs to most of the major packers, it's good to get people involved in continuing education meetings like today, Swine Profitability, Swine Day in the fall. Joel has a sow bridge where they can sign up to take classes that are over the lunch hour that they can do online. You know, PIC, I know Michael's here, they have a boot camp. There's a card for a livability conference on your table, World Pork Expo. And also farms, a lot of farms have really good onboarding programs. Like, what do we do with new employees besides say, yeah, you shower in here and get to work? I mean, we want to have training programs so they know what to do and they learn how to do it appropriately. You want to have clear rules so that we can have consistency. And that starts with having a readily available handbook, whether that be in print or digitally. Skills checklists are really helpful so that you can say, these are the things that I expect you to learn how to do, and even better if you can say who they need to go to learn these things. You also want to keep it fluid because handbooks, you don't just write a handbook and then have the exact same handbook for 20 years. Things change. You have to review it and keep it up to date. Okay, here's a little quiz. What year did the National Pork Board, which is now separated and run by Pork Checkoff, roll out the first pork quality assurance program? I'll give you just a few seconds to vote, and then I'll see how well we did. Oh, a lot of people saying 1999. Actually, the correct answer is 1989. 89, so it's about the same as me. I came out the year after they launched this program, so it was really new. So basically, to summarize this one, you want to make sure that you're not throwing your employee to the wolves, okay? You want to have a solid training manual, have a training plan, get some checklists, have a buddy system, and also make sure you have a cross-training plan, because what do? We split the crew on weekends and holidays. You know, a lot of farms, most of the farms, go to half crews on those days. And so we want to make sure that the breeding person actually knows what's supposed to be going on in farrowing, and the farrowing person knows what's supposed to be going on. Or, you know, if we've got somebody from the sow farm that's going to check nurseries on the weekend, that they know what they're doing. You know, we run into a lot of problems on weekends because people make wrong decisions because they haven't been properly cross-trained. Which brings me to number 6. A teamwork atmosphere, okay? Lots of things can go into that. I just threw a few together. Again, who cares? I mean, who cares if your team gets along? Well, teams that get along and eat together, they plan together, they get along better, they work together better, they get more work done more efficiently. If you're going to do team bonuses, which is great, which is fine, I prefer whole team bonuses over departmental bonuses because it encourages teamwork. If I have a sow farm that their team bonus is going to be based off of pigs per sow per year, they have to work together, right? Because the breeding crew has to get the best farrowing rate, and they have to get the best total born and the best live born, and the farrowing crew has to farrow them out and keep them alive and have a low pre-weaning mortality, and that all goes together. If I have departmental bonuses, you know, then sometimes they can work against each other. So I'm just saying what I prefer. You know, you do what works for you. I always love a good competition, so lots of farms have guess the weaning weight, predict the number of pigs, Super Bowl pool, baby pool, March Madness, whatever. I'll put my dollar in via Venmo, of course, because I'm not passing dirty money through the through biosecurity. Number 4. Good farms have solid community involvement. Some of you are definitely more extroverted than others, and this comes a little bit easier for you, but I see a lot of farms that are involved in their communities by getting involved in civic groups, getting involved in school activities, being active on social media, because if you don't tell your story, someone else does. So if you want your story to be truthful and positive, then you need to tell it. A lot donate to food banks, they donate to benefits, lots of good community involvement going on out there. I'm just gonna pick on one a little bit, Springer Family Foods. I think they do a really good job of social media promoting. If you don't know, Michael is here in the crowd, and his wife Christy has a meat boutique in Neodesha, Kansas. It's called the Gingham Pig, and they market some of their pork through there. But one of the things I love about Christy is when we were running Operation Main Street, I loved working with Christy. We would do online Operation Main Street where we would both be online, but Christy would be in the barn. And so she's actually showing, what's going on a lot of times in the nursery, because of course nursery pigs are super cute. And then, you're not going to have maybe, some people might be a little alarmed by a fair-wing pig, and, God forbid you have a prolapse or something like that. But nursery pigs are always cute, and so we would be on there together and answering questions from whoever the group was. It might be a civic group, might be a school group, we did a group of veterinary technicians that were in school, could be anything. They also haul their weaned pigs in an old retrofitted school bus, and that they call the ham tram. Is that what you call it? Yeah, the ham tram. So I mean, come on. These are adorable pictures of pigs riding the school bus, and that gives people a really positive idea of what's going on at their farm. Michael, this must have been around Valentine's Day or something, Michael offered to pick Christy up some lunch, and she posted about that. It's just about their life as pork producers, and I think that's awesome. And also, Mason Springer's here today, so I just want to put this picture of Mason. Mason's a student at K-State, and that was a few years ago, so, but he assured me that the girlfriend wasn't here today, so I wouldn't embarrass him too much, although I did offer to take it out if he bribed me with money, but he didn't, so. So there you are. But here's the ham tram in a parade. Is this 4th of July parade, Michael? So, doing some really great things that give them, a good view in the community. Who cares, you might ask? Who cares? Why do I need to do that? Well, it's relatively free advertising. I mean, they obviously had to decorate the bus and all that kind of stuff, but it's a good way to drive new employees to you. It's also awesome to show employees they're part of a bigger picture. If you're too busy to do it, think about sending one of your key people. I guarantee you they will have fun and they will like doing it. Also helps you, obviously, stay in good graces with the community.
Pretty girls walk like this.
So, you gotta have fun with it, but you gotta have good animal welfare policies. This was just a group of gilts that we had coming in, and we actually due to some strategic planning, we had gilts coming in at an older age than what we usually do, and so we were asking them, hey, how do they look? That's not, we're usually getting weaned pigs, so that we were having some fun with it. But you do have to have good animal welfare policies, and that means emergency plan for emergency situations, blizzards, flooding, power outages. You want to have these plans in place ahead of time so that we're not scrambling in a crisis moment to try to deal with these problems. Also, zero tolerance for animal abuse. I mean, I think there's the obvious ones, like somebody getting heavy-handed and hitting the pigs too hard or kicking pigs or something like that. But I'm also talking about immediate action for animals that need attention. So like a severe lameness, a meningitis pig, a prolapse sow, a tail bite. These are things that when we walk through the farm, we don't want to go, oh yeah, I'll get to that when I get to it. That's a crisis situation for that pig, and we need to do something about it right now. Also, you have to have a solid euthanasia plan. Training in place so that we're covered all of the days, on the weekends, on the holidays, every day. We've got to have equipment readily available and in good working condition.
Girls walk like...
So, let's know what the plan is. I love this picture because this is from one of the sow farms. They have these blow-up mattresses and sleeping bags in their storage room because if we have blizzard coming and we're concerned that somebody might not be able to get to work, some of you have people living right there on the farm, but some of us don't. And if we're concerned that somebody might not be able to get there, I don't know if they draw straws or whatever, but somebody or a few people stay there. They stay there so that we know that we are going to get care the next day. So these are things that we need to be prepared for. Think about, plan ahead. So take out your phone. Everybody probably, everybody that works on a farm has been subjected to the common industry swine audit. So when audit puts the fear of God into a lot of people. But what do you think is the number one reason that a farm fails a welfare audit? The standard operating procedures are not together in a binder. The pigs are too crowded. Pigs deemed unfit are not euthanized in a timely fashion. Or there are too many diseases present on the farm. All right, I'm so proud of you guys. Awesome. Okay, and I see that a lot of people are saying standard operating procedures are not together in a binder, which is true to some effect that most people lose points on their audit because of this. But they don't fail the audit because of that. They just lose points because of that. This is why they fail. This is an automatic failure. If you are not euthanizing pigs that are unfit in a timely fashion, you'll fail the audit. Your audit can be done in 5 minutes because you're not doing this correctly. So, make sure that your euthanasia plan is solid. You have enough people trained to cover it. I mean, if you like euthanasia, you're probably in the wrong job, but it is a necessary part of the job. And also keep in mind that, auditors are there to audit. That's their job. Very few farms ever have a perfect audit. It's kind of a unicorn. I do know that Keisuckers had a 100% audit one time, right, Rick? You guys got a 100%. And Springers, if you didn't have a 100% audit, it was dang close. But that's their job. That's the auditor's job. I don't think we should make it our goal to have 100% audit. We just need to make it our goal to have all the things in place so that we do well on the audit. Okay, number 3. Good farms keep up with new technologies. I guess part of the thing is there's all kinds of new technologies coming out. You don't always want to be on the bleeding edge. You just want to be on the cutting edge of technology. You can spend a lot of money on technology. We want to make sure that if we're spending money on technology, it's going to be worth it. But just from my 35-year perspective, we've gone from natural breeding, everything was natural breeding when I graduated, to artificial insemination on the farm, to, oh, we have bore studs now, and the bore studs are going to deliver the semen to the farm, to now we're doing PCAI on the farms, which post-cervical artificial insemination, for those unfamiliar. We are doing a lot of disease elimination from the veterinary perspective. You know, we don't see mange, we don't see lice, we don't see atrophic rhinitis. We work on dysentery, PRRS, mycoplasma. We have elimination plans for those diseases. It's hard. They're hard to do. Again, that's why I didn't stand up here and say, hey, one of the highly effective habits is they have high health. Well, duh. I mean, we all want to have high health, but it's not always easy. Wean age, think about wean age over the last 30 years. I mean, that's been a roller coaster ride. You know, we were weaning them at 24 days, and then we said, hey, we can get a lot more pigs, and it's going to be a lot more efficient, and we can eliminate some diseases if we take that wean age way down. And so what did we do? We said, hey, let's wean them at 16 days. Oh, well, heck, let's wean them at 10 days. You know, so we took it down, way down, and then we said, oh, hey, that's actually not good for the longevity of the sow, and it's actually not good for the pig either. So, you know, now we're back up into that 21 to 24 day range. We've increased litter size. I mean, we had like 9 pigs per litter when I came out of vet school, and now we're like 16 plus pigs per litter. So, you know, we've made huge strides in that. But has it been a straight line like this? No, it hasn't, because we've increased the litter size, and then we went, oh my gosh, we don't have enough teats on the sows, and the sows can't nurse all these pigs, and oh my gosh, now live-born weight went way down, and it's hard to deal with that tiny pig, and you know, so we've had to refocus and to try to get it right. So it's a moving target. It's always a moving target. Ventilation, we've made huge improvements over the years. You know, it used to be that we just had tip-out doors on all the barns, and you know, you had to have somebody go in the middle of the night and adjust the tip-out doors on the barns. And now we have everything, you know, lots of artificial intelligence and lots of things that are electronic, and you know, the farm manager can check the ventilation from his or her home 20 miles away on their phone, and when the alarm goes off at night, they can make an adjustment from their phone. They don't even have to get out of bed. So, you know, those are great things, but those things also come with a cost. And so, you know, we want to make sure if we're investing in these new technologies that we're investing in things that are going to be worth it. The good farms use the professionals. You know, this is a little bit of a self-plug there, but they do use veterinarians, nutritionists, diagnosticians, financial advisors, geneticists, engineers. You can't possibly know everything that you're going to need to know. So lean on the professionals to help you with the decision making in those areas. There are so many. I put AI, and Megan pointed out, hey, you better say artificial intelligence, because of course in the swine world, AI means something else. So there are many, many, many artificial intelligence technologies. So take out your phone. What on-farm technology would you not want to live without? I'm just curious. Think about that while I take a drink. The wheel, I love that. The wheel and hot water, awesome. I wouldn't want to live without those either. Awesome, lots of feed delivery things. I mean, obviously Wi-Fi, computers, automated bin readers. I mean, all of those things just do a lot to make our job easier. Ventilation controllers, I agree with whoever put that. Awesome. Okay, Number 2, getting down to some of my very favorites. Good farms have a solid plan for the future. Okay, it's all fine and good to be a great swine producer. It's all fine to have good health, and it's all fine to have great production, but we have to look at the long game. Okay, how is this going to be sustainable? How are we going to exit and or enter? And obviously that depends on what kind of situation that you have. If it's a family operation, you know, how are you going to bring the next generation into the fold? If it's a corporation, you know, how do you sell your shares? Who do you sell them to? How does that work? Amazingly, I run into lots of situations where people don't necessarily have a solid plan. When are you going to retire? How are you going to do it? What's the transfer of power? Who's going to make the decisions? Are you going to have a board? Are you going to have a president? How do you make these things flow? I'm not going to even pretend to be an expert in that area, and there are several third-generation pork operations right here in this room. You know, shortly you're going to hear from Michelle. She's going to talk from Keysauger Agribusiness, Henry Creek Farms, third generation, Zoltinko's third generation, Springer's third generation, J6, and John even wrote a book about it, 30 Pigs in a Plan. So we have a lot of expertise here in this room on how this works. And the number one thing that I think the best farms do is they have knowledge of current production and goals for the entire team. Okay? When I walk into a farm and I say, how many sows did you farrow last week? Or what was your pre-weaning mortality last week? Or how many days to market on that last turn on the finisher barn? And that person knows, without even thinking, I know that they're doing a good job of communicating on their team. Here's a sow farm. They put this way up high. They have a goal, 34 pigs per sow per year. It's lofty, but it's doable. I mean, it's definitely doable on short term. Depends on how long term you want to make it. So I actually wanted a picture of that because I thought, good for you. That's awesome. So good farms are doing disease monitoring. They know what their current status is. With the diagnostics that we have today and the relative economic value of that, there's no reason to not know. What is the current status and where are we going with it? What is the current cost of production? You know, do we know? What does it cost to breed a sow? What does it cost? What is our wean cost per pig? You know, what if we're a sow farm and we're selling weaned pigs? You know, what's the rejection rate? And if we have a rejection rate, due to what? You know, all that information helps us to help the team do a better job. So we have regular access to current numbers. That way we can make good decisions. You know, what can we do with this? What can we do something with nutrition to help this? Can we cut cost on the nutrition side? Can we put a vaccine in to prevent this disease? If so, how much will that cost? And will we gain enough to make it worth our time, money, and labor? There's an awareness all the way through the team, and there's flexibility between the departments. So for example, if you know, you got the summer slowdown in the finisher because of the heat, the pigs are growing a little bit slower, we're tight on finishing space, you know, does the whole system know, you know, what can we do? Can we double stock in nursery? You know, what have we done to try to alleviate that situation? Not just call the finisher and say, okay, I'm ready to move the nursery pigs. You know, they're coming at you whether you're ready or not. And then we have to sell lightweight pigs. That's not good for the team. So we have knowledge, and it's throughout the system. It's not just the owner, the CEO, the CFO. It's everybody. just to reiterate, again, you got your extra 10% today because I gave you 11. And here's in the order of importance. According to me, you may have a different order of importance, but you asked me to present, so I'm telling you what I think it is. Number one, you've got to have knowledge of that current production. Like I just said, the whole team, everybody needs to be involved. Number two, there's a solid plan. We know not only what we're going to do tomorrow, but what is the 5-year plan? What is the 10-year plan? Where are we going with this? Some things are unpredictable, as Glenn pointed out. There's lots of market things that we don't have control over, but let's control the things that we can control, and that's part of these things. The highly productive farms control these things because these are things we can control. Keep up with new technologies. It doesn't mean you have to go out and buy every gizmo gadget that you see at a trade show, but learn which ones are cost effective. Good animal welfare policies, all the way through the team, everybody. Solid community involvement, okay? Like I said, if you don't tell your story, somebody else will. So get out there and promote the industry. We're feeding protein to the world. And the other thing from the previous speaker, you know, the GLP-1, that's all focused on protein. So we're in the spotlight. So let's promote our industry. Let's promote that protein. Teamwork atmosphere. You know, people want to work in a place where they feel valued and where it's not drudgery to go to work every day. Number 7, have that training and mentoring programs in place. There is tons of help on pork.org if you need some help getting that manual going. If you don't already have one, you need to have one. Fair pay, fair scheduling. If you want to have a good team, you've got to treat them well. Zero tolerance. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But obviously, if you have any of those issues going on, you need to be firm about it and put a stop to it. My own personal plea for the clean showers and the appropriate clothing and the rodent and the bird and the pest control, just because that's all part of your biosecurity plan. And if we want to have good health, we got to have good biosecurity. So, last one. Take out your phone. And I want you to use one emoji now, not a word. And if you don't know emojis, you know, like those little pictures. And if you don't, when you get on your keyboard, go down to where you would put a smiley face and give me an emoji to tell me how you're feeling about these 11 habits in your system. Love it. Oh no. A few of you are praying, a lot of high fives. Some of your heads are exploding. Some of you are cool, so that's good. That's good. Loving it. Excellent. Well, I really appreciate everybody's participation today, and I want to thank you for your attention. And if we have a few moments for questions.
We have a couple minutes for questions, so for Lisa, go ahead.
I have a question about your recommendations on the zero tolerance policy. So whenever it comes to that, you know it's difficult to find good, reliable employees working our swine operations. What level of flexibility each of those should or can one incorporate to make sure that you have a high-quality employee that's performing well, but also not losing them over a certain issue. Now, I mean, to contextualize the question, obviously there are things where it's like, you know, it's either you do this and you're fired.
Right.
But then there's also kind of a gray area where it's like, well, I don't approve of this behavior, you know, necessarily, but I also don't approve of having no help.
Exactly. I get it. But I still think you want to be, the question was, I mean, how do you do the zero tolerance for the things that I mentioned, but still maintain a workforce? How forceful are you going to be? And I agree. I mean, I think there are certain things that there's zero tolerance for. I mean, if I got somebody who's installing showers in the camera to get naked pictures of people, they're gone, okay? I'm never going to trust that person ever. But if I have maybe somebody that tells an off-color joke, or somebody that, does graffiti on the wall because they're waiting for pigs to come to them to load them on the truck, and I don't know, they lost their head for some reason. I'm more in favor of, hey, let's have a conversation about that, about why that's unacceptable, and then hopefully we can come to an agreement and just change the behavior. It's the same for, when you talk about animal abuse, there's different degrees of that, If somebody is, losing their mind when they're trying to load pregnant gilts into farrowing, I get it. They're frustrating, they're frustrating to load in there. But if they're losing their temper repeatedly, you can't afford to have that kind of person on your team. First of all, you don't want them, and second of all, think about that. Somebody's going to get a undercover video of that, and now it's not going to matter what their name is because it's going to be your name in the media. So I think it depends on which issue it is. We certainly want to try to talk it out and work it out because we spend a lot of time trying to get people. We don't want to lose them.
With that, I think we're going to have to wrap up. Lisa will be here the rest of the day. Please ask other questions that you may have with her over the lunch hour or the rest of the day. Let's give Lisa one last round of applause.